StartUpSity boss speaking, and today I'm going to make pizza bread. Um, there is something they call business attitude, and what's important about it is to retain your own personality in how you do things. A lot of business people are losing interest in what they want to do or what they had aspired to do simply because they had been listening to others' opinion about themselves. What helps to bring back yourself is to do a personality evaluation and introspection questionnaire. On Google, you will find a lot of questions that you can ask yourself: what, why, when, where, who, how. And these are the questions that would help you detect within yourself where and how you went about doing something wrong if you are not satisfied. My opinion when it comes to satisfaction is never to regret any action that one has taken previously, because either way, no matter what you do at any time, there are always going to be mistakes. And sitting and thinking about what you could have done, you always have a second chance to undo or relieve at least a percentage of your life or your business in a different way. Right now I'm going to be making pizza out of bread. And in the market, as much as I had been beating myself over trying to find how to make the perfect pizza, I had found, just because of the cheese, I had found an alternative, and that is this Mayonnaise. It's low cholesterol and it tastes like soft cheese. So here we have the choice to make dough in which I put vegetable oil, unrefined, which is pure and natural in the market. Perhaps it has its own taste, but it's for baking, which is why it exists. So I put a spoonful. When you're making dough, if you add water before you start mixing the flour, you will always have too much dough. So the wisest thing to do is to first put the flour, put the ingredients that you want, and then add small by small water as you go. I don't have a whisk, and the best whisk at home is to use a knife, simply because it cuts the mix properly. Some people add eggs, some people don't. For color, I will add some palm oil in addition to it. Why I'm adding oil is for color just as much as for the dough not to be gluing to the hands. So as much you can toast the bread or you can keep it fresh, and you can ask customers what choice they like. This is going to be a lengthy process. I'm doing this not just for presentation, but also some people like dough being soft. That is why I'm making it this way. When you have made it this way, then you can add flour and mix it either in a bowl or on a surface, and you add a little bit of oil on it. In this case, I'm going to add margarine. What margarine does is that it is thick enough and the dough wouldn't glue. StartUpSity, Bo speaking. StartUpSity, Bo speaking. And here I am making the dough. Quite easy. If you do not want your hands to be in flour. StartUpSity, Bo speaking. StartUpSity, Bo speaking. I would like to address that in the market, people would have made it easy for themselves if somebody made supplies of raw mixed dough of any kind. And when dough is mixed like this, people have the zeal to bake by themselves at home. I had been to the shops and hadn't seen different flour mixes where people can quickly do things by themselves. I am using the knife as an example to show how easy it is to mix the dough properly and with ease. You don't need a roller. You can simply use a knife like this to make your pizza dough. because in the process what you end up doing this way, you would actually, if you add oil into dough, it lasts long, nothing sits on it, and you can simply roast it as if it was bread. So now I'm going to simply pad it up a bit with flour. Do not be alarmed. I'm doing this for presentation, so usually the dough has to be stronger, but I'm trying to make it softer. Yeah? StartUpSity, boss speaking. Let's go to the rice cooker. Because I had burnt the bottom, and had heated it up before I put the dough, I simply will wait for it to cook up. When you put it in like this, in order for it to cook in a rice cooker, when it has heated up, you simply sprinkle it with water, and the steam cooks it back in. StartUpSity, boss speaking. StartUpSity, boss speaking, and I made pizza bread in the rice cooker. Of course, I'm making this for presentation. For more time, I would do better. So I can simply put this here and cut off the edges. I toasted some bread, and now I'm going to put the filling. This is tomato paste with pepper, and I will be putting Jago mayonnaise, which tastes like soft cheese. Here I'm going to be making a decision. Should I copy or should I make a difference? When it comes to doing products or services, people are often wondering where to start from. The truth of the matter is that nobody ever started perfect. This is how the first breads used to be made, until they found different methods to creating different breads. Starting anywhere is important, anyhow which way you can. If you're putting too much standards of yourself at the beginning, what happens is that you will always have regrets, because all you will be paying attention to is following other people, and you will be losing your own intuition in the process. I'm currently stir frying some tomatoes, onion, a bit of chili pepper. When it comes to making food, I don't believe in putting salt because it makes vegetables soggy. Salt put at the end is a lot better and tastier because it removes the actual essence of a dish. You can decide to make it light. You can decide to roast it. I would prefer roasting it, simply because I am living in a country where the food products have stopped being tasty on their own. So actually roasting saves the taste and adds its flavor. StartUpSity Bo speaking. StartUpSity Bo speaking. I am deliberately making the videos separate so that you guys can make a choice on what kinds of footages you like when it comes to making this pizza. So I will be using an app from my Redmi phone in order to you can design your pizza to have a character. You don't need to try so hard at making it not too perfect. You see, people are tired of one and the same kind of look. So when you make food that looks interesting, people will first laugh at you. They will call you names. I'm adding some citrus to dilute the mayonnaise. I'm adding some salt because I didn't add previously. Slightly. Remember that peppercorns, when grinded whole, it's for aroma. But when you're making it in powder, you actually want the flavor. So there is the aroma and then there is the flavor. I will put aroma here. And I will put flavor here. And I'm going to take from here and I'm going to design it in such a way as to allow someone take a taste of what they like. Yummy! And what am I having it with? Cappuccino, Nescafe, 3-in-1. You see? Yum, yum, yum. You know what you can do? You can take an egg and roast it again if you wish to. Would you choose here or here? Now when you're making pizza, what you can do is simply leave the dough, arrange the spices and the mixes, and let everybody make a taste of what they want. This way, you will have people more interested in selecting their own interests. iPizza, brand your dishes. Call it names, not sweet and sour. Clients already know it's going to take so much time for them to repeat the name. So all you do is call it I. When somebody says I, it means they see. Should I leave this to be perfect? And then what I will do is I will simply take a raw egg and put it in the steamer. Yeah? La pota. How did Ivan the Great win over Russia when they said he killed his own son? What that means is that he destroyed his own image. But in history, they decided to paint him as a murderer, just so that another family of Peter the Great to take over. Rasiu momni paimiosh. Startup City, boss speaking. This is Jago. Mayonnaise that tastes like soft cheese. I made some garnish, added black pepper and the mayonnaise, so this way you can have a quick taste of the Nigerian version of the pizza. Toasted the bread lightly on one side. Startup City boss speaking. Here is pizza bread, first roasted in a rice cooker, and then homemade dough, and then eggs on top and steamed. I am sailing through the waters of the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to be near her. Oranges, tomato, onion fried together. Should I eat it from here? Or should I here? Or should I here? Oh. Black pepper, you know what it does? Wakes up your senses. After, in the morning hours, in order to wake up and have clear vision, that's what lemon does in cold weather. We need to know when to eat what fruit, during what period of time, how, in order to lose weight and correct your health. You know what citrus does? It protects from cold. It clears the airways. What Russians do is that they drink tea with lemons all the time. You drink tea and you take a lemon with it. You do not need sugar. Diabetes, how is it cured? Onion rings. Can we have a debate about this? Different weather conditions demand different types of approaches. So no one can really be wrong. All you have to do is taste it. If you like it, you will be in a good mood. So it doesn't really matter what kind of diet you are on. What you have to correct first is your emotions as to why you want to go on a diet. If you think of yourself as fat, then it doesn't matter what you're going to do, you will always put the weight back on. Diets that are set up for men is different from that for women, different for children. So one has to be very careful about what type of diet they take. Feeling bad that you don't have certain products demands that you be inventive. StartUpSity, boss speaking. Cures from snoring. StartUpSity, boss speaking.